Hi, I'm Ingemar Hunnings, and I'm the lead consultant and founder of Hunnings Consultancy, which provides a lot of compliance support and assistance for businesses across the globe, particularly into the legal sector. But with the topic we're talking about today, this will be relevant to businesses anywhere. So I'm talking with Nick Richards, who's our lead on data protection and GDPR compliance. And nice to have you with us, Nick.
Just to be here.
So Nick is an expert in this field. And if I just bring up on screen here, he's one of our team. There's me and Nick Richards, and you can see the URL at the top here. So you can read about him. Now, we do provide a lot of assistance with this, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later on. But first of all, what I want to do is just to launch into a question here and ask Nick to explain about this. Nick, what is data protection compliance and why is it so important?
Okay, that's a very good question. Data protection is really about protecting personal data. So that's information that can identify a particular individual. We all possess personal data and we all give our personal data to organizations on a daily basis. It's clearly very important that organizations, companies, firms protect that data. And there are several motivations for complying with data protection, particularly three main legislation in the UK, which is the Data Protection Act, 2018, the UK GDPR, 2018, and the Privacy and Electronics Communications regulations. On the negative side, failing to comply with data protection regulations means you're more likely to have a data breach. You're more likely to have unhappy clients or customers and get complaints. You're more susceptible to fines from the ICO and enforcement action. And on the positive side, if you comply with data protection regulations, obviously the opposite of what I've just said applies. You're going to have happier customers. You're less likely to get a breach or a fine, but actually you're more likely to gain more business when individuals know that you take their privacy seriously, and complying with data protection regulations can be very cost effective. There's a quote from the ICO which says that as well as being law, good protection, good data protection also makes good economic sense because it saves you time and money. It also shows people that you care about their information, which is good for your reputation and your brand. And you could look at data protection compliance in the way that I've just discussed from the business's perspective. But another good way to look at it is from an individual's perspective, because we all give our data to organizations on a daily basis. And wouldn't we want them to take the effort to protect it and take that data seriously? I think probably we would. So a lot of what we do as a consultancy is helping our clients get compliant and then helping them to stay compliant.
Thanks, Nick. So this applies not just in the UK, but in other jurisdictions as well. So do you help people or companies which are multi-jurisdictional, they trade abroad as well?
Yeah, the GDPR has a global reach, and therefore, wherever you are in the world, if you are processing data, personal data of individuals from the UK in the case of the UK GDPR, from the EU in the case of the EU GDPR, then you may well be caught by the terms of the regulations, and therefore you still need to comply in the same way. And processing of personal data basically means anything, whether it's storing it, receiving it, sharing it, deleting it, transferring it. Yeah, the GDPR has a global reach, and therefore we work with companies all around the world.
Great stuff, Nick. Thank you for explaining that. And if anyone is interested in finding out more, then please do get in touch. And we're always willing to have a free, no obligation chat to scope out what needs to be done and how we can help. Thank you.